brand new type of video, and I haven't done anything like this before. I've never done a Google or a Facebook and in fucking YouTube live. So here we are. So I'm going to go through the albums and records and vinyls that I've managed to acquire the last little while. Most of the time I'd be doing updates on molding and casting, but in my wisdom I decided I was going to get a whole load of vinyl records as my thing. So I mean, there's probably a lot of rubbish there. I haven't got a chance to catalog a lot of these, and I certainly haven't had a chance to play a lot of them. You can just see there that these are from, this particular one's from the BBC Gramophone Library, which was before the music was digitized by the BBC. All the records, all the music that they had, if you wanted to make a TV show or something like that, if you required music for it, you would, you'd have to borrow an album. You'd have to take out one of these albums, sign it out, just like the way people used to do in libraries with books, which of course nobody does anymore because nobody reads anymore. There's more of it here. Lots and lots of these. These are all classical albums. Gilbert and Sullivan. Glenn Miller. Beethoven piano sonatas, lots and lots of them. Chant du Monde. These are all good, high quality records. They're all in the sleeves. I don't think these have actually been played, a lot of them. See, they're still in the plastic. Kind of my point of this is if anybody is interested, these are all for sale. This is my my latest hustle. The Golden Age of Operetta, Reader's Digest collection. Tons and tons. What have we got here? Theatre favorites. Cool. These are all on Decca. Lots and lots and lots of them. C'est magnifique. Double album. All the fun of the fair. Golden Hour presents all the fun of the fair. I'm sure that's great. The magic of the street organ. I'm sure we've all seen street organs on streets. I've seen, the last time I saw one, I think was in Berlin. There was some guy, that's music for the piano duet for Dvorak, Beethoven and Liszt. Excellent. More operetta. Look at all this. Absolutely tons of stuff. This is just one small box of classical stuff here. Tons and tons. Okay, so I have another box here. This is more kind of, you might say, contemporary. 3 Degrees Gold. It's an excellent album. This is the stuff that I have on eBay at the moment. Dave the Drummer. It's a kind of like rave stuff. Fresh, Children of the Ghetto, Wishing on a Star. Din Din Da, Kevin Aviance. Bohemian Tosca. This is an old album. I don't think there's another copy of that with that cover anywhere. This is, it seems to be sort of late 1950s. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I just do not have the donut. I do not have the time to catalog all this. This one I noticed on eBay was £30, £30 sterling. I think I have it on eBay for €30. Monkeys. Complete Beethoven piano sonatas, and there are lots of them, lots and lots of them. Pat Boone's greatest hits. I don't know who Pat Boone is. Maybe somebody older might be able to tell me. I haven't a clue. Tight Fit. This song was out when I was a kid. The Lion Sleeps Tonight. was #1 for ages. Jasper Carrot, absolutely insufferable. Supposedly a comedian. I never could stand the man. I always thought he was a twat. I don't even know how I ended up with this. 20 original disco hits. Silver Lady. I mean, come on, that's David Soul. Yes, sir, I can boogie. I love that. So I'm holding this with one hand, so it's going to be, not only is it shaky, but it's also so we're going to play this, yeah? This is my workshop. This is actually my studio, so it's absolutely full of chairs. They're just being stored here temporarily, and they're actually just part of the house that the thing belongs to, so somebody asked me could they leave them in here for a little while. Might as well have a look around the walls. Green man. Another green man. Here's my decoupage rocks, still green man face. Skulls. Coming up to Halloween, going to have a lot of skulls. Raven skull wall hangings. There we go. Halloween plaques. Medusa. More Raven skulls. The cold cast bronze Raven skulls. I like to do these little Victorian intaglio, if that's what they're called, style things, cameo things. Classical style. Sheila and Gigs, the Irish fertility symbol. They believe it to be a pagan fertility symbol. Literally my #1 seller. All this stuff is available to buy. Skerries Rock Art on Etsy, where you can just contact me directly on Instagram. This is a large one. Dionysus. It's about, 1.5 feet tall. And more detailed pieces there, sort of fairies painting. I like doing that sort of thing. Took a bit of time. It's relaxing. The suns. I don't know why I made that kind of copper lobster. More classical Greek style stuff. I say style stuff because it's not true. It's classical Greek. There's the larger green lady. This is a cold cast bronze Sheila Nigig. There's another one of these Grecian style lady things. Got this 19th century pewter plate, St. George slaying the dragon. That's also for sale. I mean, this is all for sale. These are cold cast bronze. Little Thai style Buddhas. I made a lot of these little knickknacks. I'm doing this exactly 3 years. Made of these, this is the 3 stages of womankind, I think it is. Very young, very pregnant, very old. This is my experiment into glow-in-the-dark mold casting technology. And it actually works. This is a late 19th century clock, mantle clock. These are a few other items that I made there. These are all in cold cast metal. We have here, as you can see, a little bitty hedgehog. That's almost indistinguishable from real bronze, and a lot cheaper, obviously. Little bitty rabbit there. There we have the Queen from the Lewis chess set. Now I will be manufacturing the whole Lewis chess set very shortly. I just have to make some more molds for it. It's going to take a bit of time. This one is cold cast bronze. Little Piero. Again, cold cast bronze. Little Pooty, little angel. Now, if you see the unusual coloration, that's actually glow in the dark. So I'll knock the lights off in a little minute. We can see what's going on with that from the rest of the other part of the Lewis chess set. That's the knight there. David style holder. Candle holder, sorry to say. I've got these little things as well. These are pressure valves. They're all old as well, 1940s, 1950s. These are for sale too. That one there's the Tanginess one. It's my winged green man. Very nice. Staring out disapprovingly. It was actually one of the first molds I ever made. It's the long green man. I've made a few of them since, but I haven't really gotten around to making more of them in the last while because I've been concentrating on other things. But I still have the molds for them, so I can always make more. This is my sycamore green man, who was always a great seller. It's the smiley green man, he's good too. There's another sycamore green man. You see all this is done in slightly different colours. Different colour schemes. This is one of my painting and finishing tables, an absolute mess. I'm not in any way tidy. You may have gathered, this is a new project of mine. This is my bronze, a coal cast bronze fish. And if you look carefully, you see these little, I call them intaglios, okay, but they're not intaglios. If you look at those, you see, with these lights off. We'll find a dark place. You see, these are glow in the dark. So I made the glow in the dark resin specially. I'm gonna have a look. You can see straight away. It's the glow in the dark sun and moon figure. It hasn't really been charged properly under the light, but if it does, this is strontium aluminate that I've mixed in with the resin. So they glow for hours and hours. Once they're charged under the light, you see the cherub there has started to light up a bit. Now it's a very gloomy day. There's not a lot of light, but if you leave the lights on for a while, they'll charge up. Just give you a look at the studio. It's an absolute mess, stuff everywhere. Get these lights back on. Now, so what did I say? I was going to play something. You know what? The one that I had seems to be stuck into the thing, but I found this earlier. This is leftover wine by somebody called Melanie. Now, please excuse my ignorance. I don't know who Melanie is, but we're going to give it a little spin. Okay, so this record player I bought on Amazon cost me about just shy of €50 delivered. See, this front has got a speaker there, and the sound on it is pretty good. We'll see if Melanie is any good. It sounds like it's alive. Come on, Melanie, what have you got? Includes Peace Will Come. What have you got, Melanie?
I had a day off, so I wanted to go to the country, and that wasn't very difficult because the country was, Columbus, Missouri is the country, and I walked outside my door, and I saw a big cow, and I said, "Oh, moo, you know, don't you? You know that I don't eat cows." And
it sounds like Melanie's a vegetarian.
Melanie. And so I wrote him this song, and I wrote it really for all the cows.
Oh, it's a song about cows. Okay, leave it on. I wonder whatever happened to Melanie. So we'll have a look at some of the stuff here that's in boxes. Arthur Fiedler and the Boston Pops Orchestra. Glenn Miller, lots of Glenn Miller, I love him. Just the two of us. Do you know, back in the 70s in particular, love songs were all the rage. You really don't hear them anymore. People just don't love each other. Nat King Cole sings. I have lots of Nat King Cole right here. All this stuff is for sale. Anybody likes Nat King Cole, any of the records featured here, give me a shout. Michael Jackson Thriller, of course, we all know that. I think that was, what, 1984? Huge, huge, huge album. Yeah, Melanie's bleeding on a bit, isn't she? Nat King Cole Christmas songs. Okay, so I do a Christmas market in Ardgillan Castle, not far from here, usually obviously at Christmas. So what I do is I bring my little record player along and a load of Christmas albums from days of yore. Nat King Cole Christmas songs go down very well. I believe in these old kind of traditional style Christmases. I love that sort of thing. Nat King Cole, more Nat King Cole. White Christmas, Nat King Cole, and Dean Martin. Good stuff. More Nat King Cole. Tons of Nat King Cole. Lots of Nat King Cole. Probably people today under the age of, I don't know, I didn't really know too much about him. Under the age of maybe, I don't know who Nat King Cole is, but he was that big and that prolific. I'm gonna come over here. Have to step carefully. Lots of albums here. The Choir of Winchester Cathedral. They were different times. They really were. Some great stuff on that. And in order for a choir like this to actually have an album made, they would have been good, you know. And this is good quality. The stuff the vinyl's released now is much thinner. The sound isn't as good. Your 100 Best Tunes, Volume 13. Look at this typical early 70s fireside scene. No mobile phones. No computer games. Just the small radio there. The granddad with the dog and his cardigan. Capriccio Espagnol. It's a 10-inch. It looks like it's 1950s. There's a couple of, what have we got there? Rockabilly Rebel. Holy God. I think that rings a bell from somewhere. 45. I don't want to boogie alone. Yeah. None of us do. Grieg. Great. Richard Tauber, I believe that is. Was mentioned in the Pogues. Sally McLennan, McCormick and Richard Tauber are singing by the bed. All-Star Gala. What have we got here? This is all, again, the BBC Gramophone Library. Lots and lots of stuff there. Now, if you didn't know that was an opera, you would know that was an opera. I'm sorry. Just look at the dude. This looks pretty, 1920s? So I know the record isn't 20s, but it certainly looks like the opera is. Again, the BBC Gramophone Library. Yeah, these are operatic pieces. Okay. Music of England. English Folk Suite. Serenade in E minor for strings. Fantasia on green sleeves. Right, I'm going to put that on because I love that song, or that piece of music. So that featured in the Classical Experience, I think it was 1986. And that particular recording of Fantasia on green sleeves was always been my favorite. It's just incredible. I'm sorry, Melanie, and you don't eat meat. You can actually go away. I don't want to listen to you. I'm sorry. So if any Melanie fans are out there, which there probably isn't, I'm sorry if you are upset. That's the way it is. There's people bleeding on. Yeah, what do we got? Music of England. And we have it there in plastic. I don't think that's being played. It certainly hasn't been played very often. So we're going to stick it on. This is a wet Sunday here in Dublin. A very wet Sunday. If anybody wants this Melanie album, you may have it. Free of charge. Just pay me for the postage. Bloody awful. That's more like it. Sorry about that, Melanie. You can go to hell. For some reason, when I point the camera at Michael Jackson there, it blurs. I don't know what that's about. I have a couple of bits of artwork here as well, actually. It's Alexandra Nichita. It's a hand-embellished serigraph. It's a numbered print, you see. So I'm actually trying to sell that for a friend of mine. His father bought it in Los Angeles. To have all these large prints. That's, in the old money, 4 feet high. Venus Triumphant, I think this one is called. Again, it's huge. You need a lot of space for these things. My Italian accordion nearly went for a little tumble there. Have a quick look around, see some other things that are available. Decoupage stones, that's what I started doing. When we started Skerries Rock Art, the first thing I did was decoupage stones, and the rocks came from Skerries, hence Skerries Rock Art. Not that anybody cares. These are more of these it's my Green Man Inn pub sign. Now the Green Man Inn is eponymous, I think, throughout England. I don't know which one that was. Obviously the sign was taken down a long time ago. I think that sign dates from the 1930s. We'll have a look at some of the stuff here. Tight fit 1970, it was in the early 1980s. Bal Musette, never heard of him, but I had a look at him on eBay, and that album was, I think, £30 sterling. This is an old one. Tosca. That's the catalogue number there if anyone's interested. I couldn't find it on eBay. Again, everything here is for sale. This is Dave the Drummer, 12-inch. So I've got all kinds of stuff, but I just don't have the time to catalogue it. The 3 Degrees Gold is a great album. Children of the Ghetto. Kevin Aviance, da. So these are all in this box because most of these are for sale up to a certain point. This also is a very good album. Let me see it there. Look, Buttons and Bows, Celebration of British Tunes. Again from the BBC Gramophone Library. Big hits from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Remember that film? It's a very, very interesting one here. Look, Elvis, GI Blues, 1955 or 1959, I think it is. The cover's a bit chewed up. But interestingly, that album plays, you can see a couple of very, very light surface stuff, but that album plays brilliantly, and I actually was listening to that recently. Alpha Waves. Barry Manilow. I'm more of a Richard Clady man myself. Monkeys. This is more stuff from the BBC Gramophone Library. Complete Beethoven piano sonatas. Again, there's hundreds of them. Pat Boone's greatest hits. This is kind of charity stuff, charity shop stuff that you might see. Casey and the Sunshine Band, baby, give it up, give it up. The Osmonds, again, they were huge. Top of the Pops. To look at the album cover, it says to be early 1970s. Bill Haley on stage. Bill Haley and the Comets. Yeah. Hide and Seekers. How about us? Remember that one? Seekers again. And the Planters. Or is it the Platters? Platters? I don't know. I thought it was the Planters. Earth, Wind and Fire, the Jacksons, Don Hartman, Gloria Gaynor. I just wish I had the time to listen to all of this. Jasper Carrot, you absolutely unfunny, horrible little man. I don't know if he's a horrible little man. I just always found him unfunny. And actually, that is a record. I tried to listen to it and I just turned it off in disgust. So I managed to lose it somewhere along the lines. Just didn't like it at all. More Nat King Cole. What do you know? Peter Skellery. More Peter Skellery. Never heard of him before I got these records. Glenn Miller, now I do know. Very good stuff on there. Great albums. Nat King Cole. Glenn Miller, fantastic stuff. Glenn Miller's greatest. Glenn Miller and his orchestra. More Nat King Cole. More Nat King Cole. More Nat King Cole. More Nat King Cole. If anybody likes Nat King Cole, give me a shout. These are all these albums are for sale. More Nat King. Looks like almost everything he's ever released seems to be here. And it would take forever to go through them all, I think. So these were bought from a record shop that had just closed in the UK. It seemed, to look at the records here, it seems that the age demographic was people who like Nat King Cole. That's just a guess. Bruno Walters, Symphony No. 9. Jackie Trent and Tony Hatch. Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky. It's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. More of this. Now, that's not the Sgt. Pepper's album, I don't think. It's Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees actually covering it. The Barron Knights. They were kind of a skit band from the late 70s, I think. Yeah, they changed the names of existing songs. I do sort of remember them. They were big. They were on Swap Shop and stuff like that back in the 70s. I'm showing my age again. Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Actually never saw that movie. 60s mix. Excellent stuff. Diane Solomon. The Showcase. The Shadows. This is Manuel, I thought that said. Is that Nana Muscuri? Nana Muscuri was a big, big character in the 60s and 70s again. Australian, oh, hang on, I thought that was a record. It's actually it's a calendar that was in there. Big love movie themes. So, Love Story. Oh, God, that song. Romeo and Juliet, West Side Story. Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Yeah, I don't think people are in love anymore. They don't make love movies for the sake of it, I don't think. Everything has to carry some sort of message. Perry Como. Slim Whitman. Cliff Richard and the Shadows. Jim Reeves. I'm not sure about him. I don't think I really heard. Look, that's a big, almost like a book of our friend Jim Reeves. Yeah, let's have a look inside. Lots Jim Reeves stuff there. I'm going to have a look at this later, price it up and see if it's actually valuable in any way. And then I'll hopefully be able to sell it because I've got a finite amount of space. Slim Whitman, Jesus. Jim Reeves. Nina and Frederick, now what that is all about, I do not know. I've never seen or heard of either of them. But interestingly, if you put this on, probably would recognize one or two of the songs, but I don't know. More Perry Como, Christmas Greetings, Perry Como. So that's going to go into my Christmas pack to bring to the Argyllen Christmas market. Glenn Miller, fantastic. David Whitfield, not sure who he is. Bert Camfert, I have a few albums with him on it, so I have listened to some of the one or two of them. Not the whole album. There's more Bert Camfert there. Lollipops, mood music for listening and relaxation. Really cool. Tijuana Christmas, that's for the Christmas box too. That has got to be worth listening to. Tijuana Brass. James Last, I think he's still going actually. It's that James Galway I'm thinking of. Guantanamo, Bert Camford, another forgotten. Tijuana Sound of Brass, more Camford. See what the weather's doing outside. It's raining. What a surprise. September now. A few bits. This is a more kind of modern house music, but this is from the 90s, most of it. These are 12-inch singles. I have, there's just shy of 100 of them there. These again are for sale. Rocksteady Crew, I remember that song. So it's obviously varying quality. Mel and Kim, I think that's a 12-inch too. These are all 12 inches. Al Jarreau. Lulu, God, holiday rap. I think there's some fairly, what you might call hardcore stuff there, unreleased stuff. That's real acid house face there. Again, it's all for sale. Anybody interested, give me a shout. Yeah, these are all, this looked like it belonged to a DJ collection. It's just written in marker there. Mr. DJ with a concept. 48k. Mark Morrison, I remember him. Didn't he do Return of the Mac? Something like that. I know there's actually nobody watching this now, which is expected. Fish EP? What the heck? I'm going to make a video just for the purposes of selling these. Let's see what's there. George Benson. Straw People Taller Than God. These have been sitting here for a while, so I sold some. I sold probably a couple of dozen of them to an English guy who's DJing. He likes this sort of thing. But when you take your foot off the pedal with advertising, it dries up. So I need to get back on it. It's one cheesy album cover. Arena Unity, whatever that is. Maxine Nightingale. You can hear that. I have to do some research on that one. Fade to Black, The Builder, House Built in the Jazz Mix. A lot of these 12 inches, a lot of the house stuff, they've got very long titles. When My Guitar Gently Weeps, Mount Vernon. My arm's getting tired holding this. So I came down to make some molds today, but I got kind of sidetracked, so I thought I'd show a few pictures. That is the Immaculate Collection Madonna. That's an excellent album. I mean, I grew up in the 80s with all that sort of thing. I think I got my first slow set to a Madonna song. Carpenters, they were a great band in the day. That's 69 to 73. Marilyn, don't know who they are. Judith Roberts. Okay, so Janet Jackson, Fat Boys Wipeout. I remember that single. Desiree, Roger Sanchez, Zunga Zang, whatever that is. Oh, that's Phyllis Nelson. She did Move Closer, I believe. Girl Talk, remember that? Petula Clark. She was huge in the 60s. So was, surprise, surprise, what's her name? Cilla Black. Adamski. Soul to Soul. Swing Out Sisters. That was actually, I remember that song. Wasn't that long ago, really. 35 years old. Status Quo. I think I have that album already. Get a Life Club Mix. I'll put that with the club box, so to speak. Shakin' Stevens. He was big at the time. D-Mob. Top of the Pops. That's another, that doesn't belong really in that box. Now that's what I call Music 9. Now that's one of my first albums. Now I didn't buy that. I didn't buy it on vinyl back in the day. I actually bought it on cassette. Got it for Christmas one year. Gee, that's what I call Music 4 or 6 was the first one I got, but I had all of these. It was actually, that would have been 86, 87. I'm just guessing. I was starting to move away from that sort of music, the pop music. I was starting to move into being a punk at that point. That's all she wrote. Things changed. Brought a whole new lifestyle and a whole new set of everything you can imagine. DeBarge, they had a song called The Rhythm of the Night. Motley Crue, oh, we're getting into some rock and roll. Shout at the devil. Don't like Motley Crue. My mother loves Roy Orbison. Scottish dance bands. Okay, so it seems to be more of the same. So anyway, I hadn't got enough room on my phone's memory to record a video. So that's why I've done this live. So if anyone has any feedback apart from the quality of the video, and if anyone's interested in these albums or anything, just drop me a like. And great. And I'll see you guys another time. Thanks very much.